So I knew what was happening to me. So I completely surrendered to it. So I forgot the question. What was the question?
The question is why you? Because many
Why
people
me? Oh,
ask
right.
me,
Okay. Yes. Sorry.
why her? Why you? Say,
Why
well,
her?
yeah.
So, okay. So when this first happened, I started writing automatic writing. So automatic writing is something people do. It's a way of spirit connecting, giving you messages where you write involuntarily. Somebody else is using your hand to write. And on that first evening, when Ananda first came through, I didn't know I was going to be channeling Jesus at that point. I was just making contact with my guides and teachers, Ananda. And they told me that I was a goat herder, a teenage boy, when Jesus was teaching. And that because I had goats, I could follow him around. Yeah. And so I would wander around with him. And through this automatic writing, they said that Jesus and I had become friends, that we would sit around the fire at night together and Jesus would teach me. And I have no conscious recollection of that. I don't have a past life memory of that. Although I did have a vision, I would have been in my early 20s. Mm-hmm. And I had a vision of looking down at my feet. I was in the desert. So it was just like a snapshot, really, a very brief vision where I looked down and I had robes and I had sandals on and my feet were men's feet. And then I looked out onto the horizon of the desert and I knew I was in the Middle East. And in that moment, I understood everything. I can't put it into words, as you know, when people have these kinds of experiences, you can't really explain what's happening. But in that moment, as I was looking out onto the desert, I understood everything. And that was the memory. So that's really the only conscious memory or conscious experience I've had. But I was always fascinated with the Bible from an archaeological point of view. Oh, so okay. I took archaeology in university. I studied archaeology and anthropology. But one of the things I wanted to do was comparative religion. So I was always fascinated with religion. I grew up in a spiritualist household. So we had seances every Saturday night in my house as a child. So I grew up knowing that spirit was real, knowing that we continued on after death. I started reading the Bible a few times, even as a teenager. So the fascination with spirituality and religion was always there. I tried to go to church twice and spent a few minutes there.
Just tried, right?
Pardon?
Just tried, you mean?
Oh, well, I was seeking, I was suffering as a young woman. I was suffering with my mind and my body. I had eating disorders as a young woman. So I was having a hard time mentally and emotionally. So I went to church to try and find some kind of peace or some kind of help. No, that didn't take it. I was there for a few minutes and I was like, nah,